Derek Brunson versus Ian Heinisch opens up the main card of UFC 241, which is just around the corner. And we're going to break it down right now, and I'm going to give my prediction of who I think is going to win that fight. Let's talk about Derek Brunson, first of all, okay? One of my least favourite fighters in the UFC. I think he's terrible. I think he has a puncher's chance, and he's athletic. And a lot of people give me hate when I shit on him and Elias Theodorou, but guess what? I shit on that fight and I got my way. Elias Theodorou was cut because of me, okay? Because I shit on him that bad. That was a terrible fight. A really fucking terrible fight. And if you're telling me that Derek Brunson's coming off a win, I don't agree with you. Because there was no winner in that fight, including the crowd members. They lost as well. Everyone took one big L from that fight, okay? Including Elias Theodorou, who got cut after one loss, I believe. So Derek Brunson didn't win his last fight, in my opinion. He skated by on a draw, I'd call that performance. But never mind, he got the job done. He slammed Elias Theodorou once. And that was enough to win the fight, which shows you how good the fight was. So, yeah. I feel like Derek Brunson's going to lose this one, guys. I really do. I think Ian Heinisch is a savage at middleweight, and he's one of these next young guns. He's not young, he's 31, but compared to some of these fucking middleweights in Jacare and Yoel and shit like that, he's young. Okay, he's going to come up the rankings. Phenomenal wrestling. And when you think about wrestling, where does Derek Brunson train? Hard Knocks 365 with Henry Hooft. Who's his main training partner? Ian Heinisch is shorter than Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson needs a wrestler in his training camp. Okay? Derek Brunson in this fight, what does he need? A shorter, bulkier wrestler in his training camp that's similar to his size. Kamaru Usman. That's who he needs in his training camp, who, by the way, has been injured and only be able to give him a few weeks' work. A week's work, in my opinion, from the videos I've seen coming out recently. So, yeah. That's a big downside for Brunson already, and I'm going to go with Heinisch here. Heinisch, a guy who came out of wrestling, a phenomenal wrestler, went to prison, got back into his MMA, and been killing shit ever since. Okay? Killing shit ever since. I'll tell you a weird fact. Fun fact, by the way, about Ian Heinisch. Brace yourselves. Fun fact. He has 2 scarf hold arm locks in his career by submission. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically your inside control and you almost do a Kimura, but it's like you use a triangle with your legs on their arm and use it that way. And that's how you get your sort of rotation of the arm. It's a very weird submission, and when a guy pulls that off, not once, but twice, you know what that tells me? It tells me this guy's thinking differently. This guy is expanding his game every day to come up with different ways of finishing fights. And I feel like against Derek Brunson, he's going to get a KO, because Derek Brunson has been KO'd multiple times now. You're talking finished by Yoel Romero by a brutal beatdown in that 3rd round. You're talking Jacare Souza head kicked the fuck out of him and sent him into no man's land. He shit his pants against Israel Adesanya, and Israel Adesanya KO'd him as well. Derek Brunson's taking his fucking knocks, guys, and for a guy that trains at Hard Knocks, that's the perfect gym for him, because he genuinely does take some hard knocks in his career. Been KO'd 5 times already, and for a guy who's 35 years old that relies on his speed and power, you know, it's rough. He relies on a brawl. He wants you to brawl with him, and when you're a guy who can no longer take shots, wanting people to brawl with you is not the move, and that's not the best game plan to have, and that's what he needs. He got fucking KO'd by Whitaker. He got KO'd again by who? Oh no, that's twice now by Jacare Souza. I remember he head kicked him again in the first fight, didn't he? Ian Heinisch does not have that problem. Coming into the UFC, he had 1 submission loss. Came into the Tuesday Night Contender Series, did his job, and since then has gone through 2 opponents back to back. This is the perfect jumping competition for him. And listen, the guys he's beaten, you see this record right here. You see Antonio Carlos Jr. and Cesar Ferreira. You think, Antonio Carlos Jr. is a fucking savage. And before he fought Ian Heinisch, he was on something like a 5-fight win streak. Because he doesn't speak good English, he doesn't get the jump up that these other guys do. that these good-looking Americans do. You know what I'm saying? So he's on this 5-fight win streak. I'm telling you, when you see a guy matched against a Brazilian and you think, oh, he's unranked, look into that guy's record. Because odds are, I mean, you're talking Nathaniel Wood, a guy from the UK, came into the UFC, won a fight, 2 fights, then fought Jose Alberto Quinones. And you look at Alberto Quinones, you're like, oh, this guy's unranked. Oh, he's on a 6-fight win streak, 5-fight win streak. Why is he unranked? He doesn't speak English. Carlos Jr. is a savage. Ian Heinisch beat him. Carlos Jr. is taking on Uriah Hall coming up soon at UFC Vancouver as well. Cesar Ferreira. You look at this guy's record as well. This is no easy fucking test. Just lost to Marvin Vettori, but again, this is no easy test. Ian Heinisch came in. You're talking about a guy who has wins like Jack Hermansson on his record. Anthony Smith. Who else? Thiago Santos. Sergio Moraes. These good names. He's fought a welterweight as well. Carl Robeson's a good up-and-comer that he finished. He's a savage, and Ian Heinisch has beaten these 2 guys. And they aren't unranked. They're not your typical unranked opponents. I mean, and Antonio Carlos Jr. wasn't even unranked. Ian the Hurricane Heinisch is a real problem. I think he's going to KO Derek Brunson in the first round and leave a big statement on that middleweight division. Because right now at middleweight, and I'll go to the rankings right now, because right now at middleweight, it's the best it's ever been. Okay? Before it was like a 3-horse race at the top. There was Whittaker, Yoel, and Rockhold. And then outside of that, there was kind of a mix between Jacare, Weidman, and Gastelum. And then everything else was kind of like, fuck off. No one needs you here. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like 2 tiers at the top. But nowadays at middleweight, I mean, you've got the rising of Israel Adesanya that's just come through and put himself in the top spot for beating number 4 on the rankings. Okay? He's in the mix now. You've got Kelvin Gastelum still around. Jack Hermansson is a dark horse of that division. Okay? Paulo Costa's making his rise, fighting Yoel Romero on the same card. I think he wins. Alright? Jared Cannonier's in the mix now, coming down from a bigger weight class. Ian Heinisch is in the mix. There's other guys coming up. Edmund Shabazian. You got Kevin Holland. There's a few guys now. Middleweight's dangerous. And Ian Heinisch, I think, is going to be the next young up-and-comer. New to the division up-and-comer to make his mark and solidify himself in a good position of the rankings and get himself a next big fight. Maybe against Kelvin Gastelum at the end of the year. I don't make the rules. You know what I mean? Ian Heinisch by KO in the first round. Click that button there. Oh, there you are. See you later. Ian Heinisch by KO, first round. Bye.